Hey everybody, welcome to the Movie Epidemic podcast. We got Chandler here, a known ISIS member.
What the fuck?
I'm Bucko,
Like
dude.
how
We gotta
how
go.
long
We
how
talk
long
about
did
some.
you how long did you think over that intro to introduce me like that? Like
What intro?
when did you come up with that? Like Monday?
No, no, that was just off the dome. That was just off the dome
You son of a bitch.
because because Chandler J. Fox is a real live terrorist.
So today we're going to talk about a few movies. We're going to talk about a teen exploitation movie called The Maze Runner. The Maze Runner.
Really? That's what you're going with?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, they do pandering towards teens, nothing wrong. And you know what? Sometimes pandering towards teens can turn out pretty damn good. That's why today our top five is going to be the top five young adult slash teen pandering movies. We'll get into that a little bit later. Of course, we're watching all of the Avengers movies leading up to the Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. And today we're watching the final movie in the first phase of the Avengers series, The Avengers. Just
Oh
called
shit!
just called The Avengers. We'll get a little bit into that. And we're going to talk about a little fake-ass current Quentin Tarantino movie made in Australia called Kill Me Three Times. It's not
How
made by
many times?
Tarantino. Kill Me Three Times.
How many times are you supposed to kill me?
Three times. Three times. It's
What?
not,
One
it's not
time? Two
actually
times? How many times?
once, twice, three times. It's not actually Quentin Tarantino, but it feels like it. Like, it's fake as fuck.
Well,
Fake as
it's like
fuck.
we'll get into it.
We'll get into it a little bit later. First off, let's talk about The Maze Runner. Now, it is obvious that this movie is targeted at the young adult and teen pandering type audience, but overall, it's not bad.
I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it.
But here's the dealio. Here's the dealio though, is that I feel like I'm interested enough that I would watch a sequel. I will
I
see
will
the
only
second
watch it. I will only watch it when you make me watch it. That's.
one.
I would never. I would never seek it out because I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care.
All
Nothing
right.
about this movie made me care.
I thought there were some alright characters. I really liked oh fuck. I don't know the name of the actor, but he's the fucking British dude in this movie, and he plays opposite Liam Neeson in Love Actually.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that guy rules.
God bless the niece. God bless the niece. He probably learned all his acting chops from the niece. Like, they're probably homies, right? Like,
I would think so.
they would have to have been close. So that guy's close with the niece. Then you got the bully kid. Now here's the thing, and this is something I kind of expected. A lot of bad performances in this. Lot of shitty actors, but they're they're kids. They're kids, right? So
That's no excuse though. Fucking Hunger
who gives
Games
a
was
shit?
good.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know.
Like,
They
that's not
were.
no, no, it's not an excuse anymore. You can't just hire bad actors that are kids. You can't. There are good actors that are kids.
Well, I mean, Daniel Radcliffe was no good in the first Harry Potter movie.
Yeah.
And he became good, and that's what I'm kind of hoping will happen in this series. You can hire shitty actors, and then they will eventually become better actors. The black dude was good though. Albie, he was like the leader of the village. He was good, and the British kid was good. Other than that, like the girl that came in was particularly awful. Like, she was like Kristen Stewart level bad. But that all being said,
The Asian guy was okay. Not much there though. Not much there.
yeah, I like the Asian guy. Heck of spiders in this movie. Heck of
Hello,
spiders.
spiders, dude.
Lots of robot spiders. And you know what? I was a little worried. I was a little worried when you told me this movie a heck of spiders. I thought they were gonna be all like, with like the big ass hairs, like sort of like from Harry Potter 2, because those spiders scared the balls off me, right? But robot spiders, not scary. Not. I don't know what it is. Regular spiders, pretty scary. Robot spiders,
Well, it's probably because you've seen Wild Wild West.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I have seen Wild Wild West. Wouldn't see it again. That's for sure. 100% would never see that movie again.
That's a 100% fuck no movie.
I like that movie because it's the movie that Will Smith turned down The Matrix to do because he thought it would be more financially successful. Another thing I really like about that movie is it brings me back to the time when Will Smith used to write rap songs about all the movies that he was in.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
best.
like he did like the
Wild Wild West, yo.
Men in Black and the Wild Wild West. Like that
Yeah,
was
Man in Black, that's actually a pretty good song.
yo. I would bump that song. I would
It's
bump
actually a
that song.
banger. That's actually a banger.
It's a banger. Will Smith has some pretty good clean music, but Men in Black, it's a banger.
Banger.
Absolute banger. Not to mention, that's actually a great movie. I don't think have we ever talked about Men in Black on this show? I love that movie.
No, they're good. I like most of them.
I like the first one and the third one. The second one,
I don't remember much about that one.
too much of the pug in the second one. Too much of the pug.
Oh yeah, right.
But the third one had hella Josh Brolin as young.
I saw that in theaters for some reason, and it was actually really good.
Yeah, the third one? Yeah, I saw it in theaters too. I saw it in 3D, and it was like one of the only times where I was like, you know what? 3D was all right there.
Oh, Chadley's on board with 3D.
Only on Men in Black 3. That's like one of the few times that I can remember.
Men in Black 3D.
I remember the 3D wasn't like superbly terrible for Amazing Spider-Man, despite the fact that the movie was superbly terrible. 3D, I mean, the 3D was all right. There was a part where where Spider-Man grabs onto an American flag, so because
I don't care. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that movie.
Fucking Amazing Spider-Man, goddamn Social Network.
What did you fucking Social Network? Goddamn. What did you enjoy about the Maze Runner though? Like it's the same. It's the same.
Somewhat. It's that post-apocalyptic feel that you get from the Hunger Games.
I've had enough. I think I've just had enough. It's not that bad of a. It's not a horrible movie. I've just had enough. I've just had enough.
It's a little bit granola, but the concept itself, it's different. It's different enough that it was able to captivate me for the hour and 50 minutes that it ran.
It didn't world build well though. It didn't world build well. I didn't know what the world was. I didn't know what the world was. What was it?
I disagree though. I thought it world built quite well because it was supposed to be a mystery what the actual world was, and then they revealed it at the end. But the world that they built at that beginning,
point, at that point, I'm barely paying attention because I don't give a shit about what's happening in this movie.
Could have got better actors. One thing about this movie that kind of bothered me is for sure use more colors. For sure I felt like they didn't color correct this movie. Or they color correct it wrong, because the whole movie is black. There were points where it was just a black screen, and because everything on the screen was black, so it was just I thought my TV was going haywire, but not. Just everything on the screen.
Turn your brightness up. Turn your brightness up high enough. That might be user error, Charles. That might be user error.
A lot of black.
It was dark. It was a dark movie.
It was a dark movie, and there is some, fascinating looking things I don't know, crazy, those crazy spider things. They look like they were taken right out of Mass Effect or Gears of War or something. It's where'd you borrow that from? But the CG. The CG was not bad. There was some of the CG shine, if you know what I'm talking about. When you can clearly tell something's CG because it's a little bit shiny, but. Overall, I didn't have a bad time with The Maze Runner. It is a little bit granola, I'll give you that, but I don't know. I found it fascinating enough to...
I don't think to me, this didn't bring anything new to the table that any other young adult movie I've seen in the past 4 years has done. Hasn't brought anything new.
There's a lot of Hunger Games. There's a lot of Divergent. Speaking of Divergent, I want to talk about that for just a minute because I found out something horrendous today. Or not today, a few days ago, whatever. This is the title of the Divergent books. First one, you got Divergent. All right, that's fine. Second one, you got Insurgent. They sound the same, so I guess. Okay.
Not really have anything to do with each other, but okay.
Yeah, and then 3 is Allegiant. It's you're getting away from the the sound that you're trying to make here. Now the 4th book. Do you know what the 4th book is called?
No.
It's called 4. They gave up. They fucking just gave up when they were writing that 4th book. They were like, shit, we're out of gent words. Fuck it, just call it 4. I don't care. The publicist was trying to go home for the weekend.
Well, that's why if you look at the movie titles, it's like the Divergent Part 2, The Insurgent. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, we're preparing for that fourth one. It's like Divergent 4.
Yeah, yeah, that's all they'll call it. But god damn, that's awful. But like I said,
At
yeah,
that at that point, you can tell they gave up. Like, there's no way that book's good. There's no way that fourth one is good. Like, I can just tell by how little effort they put into it that it's not going to be good.
It's phoned in as fuck, dude. Phoned in as fuck. But yeah, Maze Runner does borrow some ideas from Hunger Games and Divergent, and it's pretty obvious.
I'm not saying that like Hunger Games or Divergent is an original idea either. I'm just saying when I watched those movies, they brought something more interesting than this movie, because this movie is not really about anything that I could find besides escaping this maze.
The Hunger Games came out in the 1980s, brother. It was called The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, it also came out before that, called Battle Royale, a Japanese novel.
Oh. Is that the one with all the Japanese names that you couldn't keep up with who the hell's who?
Yeah, it's a good book though. It's like it's literally the same thing. It's like a class of kids get put on this island and they have to fight to the last man standing. It's
Yeah,
where
but
Hunger Games was directly taken.
the book doesn't have Arnold though. That's the only thing.
Right?
Anyway, so the Maze Runner, I don't know, I'd say like 60, maybe 70% fuck yes. I wouldn't give it a fuck no. I mean, it's fun. It's fun, but it's, like you said, it's pretty granola. But I had a good time watching it.
I didn't think it was anything special. I'd skip it. Honestly, I'd skip it. Unless someone's forcing you to watch this, just skip this movie.
Yeah, but there's gonna be more of them.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. This movie falls apart in the last fucking half an hour because all it is a setup to the next movie, and I don't care. I wanted any resolution. Any resolution would be fine.
I'm glad it was short though, an hour 50. Because most of these teen pandering movies, man, they kick it up to 220.
Yeah, 220 is too much.
220's like it's far too much.
How do these ADD teens even watch these fucking movies?
They got no attention span.
As a first-time director, I thought that was all right. Was all right.
Was it a first-time director? I didn't know that.
Well, first-time director, yeah.
Well, you know what? For a first go, not bad. And I'm sure it made a lot of money.
Probably.
I know that it came out in September, and I know they've already announced the sequel, which is going to be coming out next September. And it's like, yo, you're putting a year between your movies. You better work real fast. Not to mention you're working with kids. You gotta fucking keep those kids like in line.
I think the second one got greenlit pretty soon after the release, so they've probably been working on it.
It's probably been making, like, the first one probably made money. Like, it made money, obviously.
I would think so.
I would think so. And you know what? Like I said, it's not perfect. It's Hunger Games-y, sure, but it's fun. For what it is, it's a fun hour and 50 minutes. I didn't feel like I wasted my time watching The Maze Runner.
Obviously I'm not really the audience because I don't give a shit. But it was just boring. It was like there'd be like a good action scene and then just nothing for a while.
A lot of talking.
I was so bored.
A lot of talking in the village and a lot of farming.
I could do with less farming and more maybe running through a cool maze. Like, hey, it's called The Maze Runner. Maybe show the cool maze a bit more.
That is something that I do agree with. Is that I feel like they failed to show a lot of the mazes, even when they're in the maze. I didn't really feel like I didn't feel like they were ever lost in the maze.
No, because they always would just like run and then they're out. And it's like, oh,
yeah,
we found a new exit. It's like, how do you even? It changes every day. How would you even know that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it changes to like 8 different like preset things. I do agree that there's some borrowed concepts. We'll call them borrowed concepts.
That's that's not even really the problem with it though. It's just not set up well in my opinion. It's just not a well set up movie.
Well,
Because
yeah,
all it is a setup for the sequel. That's all it is.
they kind of toss it you into it. Like they don't fuck around in this movie. It's like the first shot of the movie is him getting there. Like they don't fuck around with backstory or nothing. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of liked that, but didn't like that because it didn't give very much depth to the characters.
I guess they're saving the cheesy teen relationship for the sequel.
Yeah. I figured that there was probably going to be some romance connection there, and I hope they fire that girl. Fuck, I really hope they fire that girl because she is terrible. She's one of the worst actresses like in the world, maybe. Dude, I would have rather that girl be played by The Rock.
Okay.
Like The Rock in a way. I would have bought it more. To be honest. I would have like
Yeah,
you know
The
the part
Rock's
where
an actor, okay?
you know the part
has
when they go to the fucking when they go to the hole and they're like the last person has come up and they're like it's a girl. Like I would have loved to just have like the slow reveal to see that it is indeed The Rock in a way.
You also can't do that. Those boys would just rip her apart. They've been stuck there for years. Charles, they've been stuck in this maze for years.
Yeah, that's another thing that I was wondering too.
One piece of meat? You send one piece of meat in there?
I was like, okay, so they're sending one girl up. What do they want them to repopulate? What, like, because they're not sending anybody else? What are they all just gonna rodeo this girl or something?
Yo, they're gonna run train on this girl.
Rodeo. Gross. Like, and realistically, because of the way instincts work, maybe the fat Jew kid wouldn't like try and bang her, but for sure, like the big tough nerd, like the big tough nerd that was like the bad guy in this movie.
Uh-huh.
Like he was like really tough for some reason, but he had like a nerd face.
What are you, a strong nerd or something?
That
Marky Mark in Transformers 4?
That fucking big tough nerd, he would have gone to town on her, and he wouldn't have asked either. He would have just gone with his instincts there, and gone crazy.
Absolutely. You want to move on?
Yeah. We were talking about teen pandering movies, or young adult movies, as some people like to call them. And you know what? Sometimes it doesn't turn out super shitty. In fact, sometimes it turns out really good. So we're gonna do our top 5 young adult movies. Why don't you start us off? What's your number 5?
So I don't really know what that means, young adult, but I just figured
you came up with it.
I just figured it was like a teen novel turned into movie. Is that?
Yeah. I mean, that's that. Yeah. I'm saying yes.
Okay. So we talked about this last week. This is The Giver.
Number 5 is The Giver. All right.
Yeah.
Giver is fun. Giver's got, and there's some great artistic styles in The Giver.
I realize most young adult movies are bad, so this Giver makes it by that.
By a hair. My number 5 is a movie that hey, you may not agree with me. Some people may say that this movie's bad, but I think it's actually pretty good. My number 5 is The Notebook. With starring my boy Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams.
Oh, Ryan Gosling.
If you look past, like the teen sex pandering in this movie, it's pretty fucking good, actually. Like, it's actually a pretty good. Like, every Nicholas Sparks movie that came after it, 100% no. Like, what was
you're not a fan of Safe Harbor?
Safe Harbor? Is that the one where the girl from fucking...
I don't fucking know, dude.
How I Met Your Mother was a ghost?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a bad movie. That's a bad movie. Like, it's garbage. That's the one. Okay, that's the one. I have big problems with Safe Haven, and that's because they hired that girl, who's not an actress, but they hired her for like a bunch of stuff for like 1 year. What's her name? It's like Julianne Hough. Like, she's not an actress, but they hired her for a bunch of stuff. They hired her for Footloose, and that's fine because she's a dancer, and that's fine. I mean, like, hire somebody better at acting and then have her be a stunt double. I don't give a shit. And then. What was the other one? Rock of Ages. She was hired in.
Oh, that's the one. That might be the worst movie I've ever seen.
Rock of Ages is pretty bad, man. I can't believe Tom Cruise. I can't believe Paul Giamatti signed on for that shit. And then and then
I
who's
didn't
who's
finish it. That's one movie that I've never finished. I just couldn't.
I've never finished it either, dude. I've seen probably like the first 55 minutes and tapped. And then Safe Haven, and the other two have dancing in it, so it makes sense to me. Safe Haven makes no sense. Why did you hire a girl who can't act in a role where she needs to act?
Well, they were trying to launch a young career. They were trying to launch a young career,
Now
try and
she's
get her into the spotlight, and
now she's
didn't,
doing
didn't quite
workout
work out.
DVDs.
Didn't quite work out.
She's like doing like dance workout DVDs, like Zumba workout DVDs.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know if
Zumba
that's
workout.
actually what she's doing. That's just kind of what I imagine.
Oh, the old P90X.
Like not that prestigious though, like not that good. Like it's stuff that might give you a workout, you know.
All right, all right.
Anyway, we're off track. Notebook is a pretty good movie. My boy Ryan Gosling, he goes hard. He goes hard as F in this movie.
Man, he's pretty goddamn good.
I like that Ryan Gosling. He's been in a lot of good things. Like
Some
Drive.
shitty stuff, but mostly good.
I mean, some people don't like Crazy Stupid Love, but I think it's fun as heck.
That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah, man.
movie.
Yeah, that movie's got Kevin ass Bacon in it.
Oh, yeah, Kevin Ass Bacon, isn't that shit?
Kevin ass Bacon.
So my number 4. I don't know if necessarily this is the greatest adaptation ever, but it is from my favorite book of all time. This is Ender's Game.
You know what? Here's the thing. I've not seen it yet. That's with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I would like to see Ender's Game at some point. I've not seen it yet.
Put it on your watch list there.
I'll throw it on the watch list. The Ender's
It's good. It is my favorite book of all time. So, it's got that soft spot, and it's actually a pretty decent adaptation. It's not it's not going to be exact.
It's not perfect.
I've come to terms with that, but for what they had, pretty solid, pretty brisk little Ender's Game.
So my number 4 is your number 5. My number 4 is The Giver.
Oh yeah.
Brenton Thwaites and Jibbity Jeff. Jazzy Jeff Bridges.
Old Jeffrey Bridges.
Old Jeffrey Bridge. It's a great movie. Like we've already said a million times, it's a really cool art style. Brendan Thwaites isn't a perfect actor, but hey, you got Taylor Swift there, so
Hey,
I guess you don't really need to be good at acting to be in movies these days, I guess. So.
Well, Taylor Swift is in the Illuminati, so she can get into anything.
True, right up there with Snoop Dogg.
Taylor Swift's manager is a lizard shapeshifter, so she can get her fingers into anything.
Right into the gum. Right, but of all the things, because she can get into anything, right? She can get anything she wants. Of all the things, though, she was like, "Hey, heard they're doing a adaptation of the
Hey,
Giver."
man, you don't know. Maybe she read that in grade 5, and it really spoke to her, right? Don't jump to conclusions.
It's probably the only book she's ever read.
I would not be surprised.
So what's your number 3?
Number 3. A little movie called Hunger Games.
The Hungry Games, starring J-Law and
Just
Hemsworth.
the first one, though. Just the first one.
And one of them Hemsworths. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, the second and third are not very good, but the first one's a lot of fun. I really like that Josh Hutcherson. I really like that. I feel like he's coming up. I mean, he's too short to be a romantic lead, like way too small.
Yeah, he's a small man.
He's too small to be Bond. Like he's the opposite of last week.
True.
too small to be Bond. But he's up and coming. I feel like he'll have like a Tom Cruise like career. He'll rock it at 5'6".
Yeah, that'd be all right.
I'd be all right.
Put him in big shoes.
yeah. Put him on stilts. He might not look. Is that what they did with Tom Cruise? Just give him big shoes?
Yeah, he's got big shoes in the Mission Impossible movies. He's got big shoes.
Are they like size 12 shoes or like platform shoes?
Well, yeah, I think they give him a couple inches,
It's incredible. Take a 5'6" man, make him 5'9".
Yeah, but then with camera tricks. bitch looks
Yeah.
5'10", you know?
Yeah. For Tom Cruise, they gotta pull out all the stops
Yeah, absolutely.
because he's so small, and that's what they'll
He's
do
a
with this
tiny
Hutchinson.
man.
It's a tiny man. He's a
I could
tiny man.
lift I could lift Tom Cruise. Like you don't think about it, but like he's like barely 5'7" maybe.
He's not even like built anymore, so I feel like Tom Cruise couldn't lift me. You know, like I feel like 80s Tom Cruise, like Top Gun Tom Cruise, could probably lift me.
Yeah, he could probably throw you.
Yeah, yeah, but Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol Tom Cruise, he might not be able to even lift.
Well, he's slimming down. He's definitely slimming down.
Yeah.
You gonna go see that new Mission Impossible movie? Go see that new Mission Impossible movie?
Likely no. I'm gonna take a wild stab and say nah, 100% nah.
Well,
But I mean, I'm sure I'll see Tom Cruise movies in the future. I mean, we're not getting any younger here.
so what's your number 3?
My number 3 is a movie. I like to pick one from each series. One movie from each series, so that because my list would be filtered with my number 1 series. But anyway, my number 3 is Narnia. Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, Narnia, hey?
Buckdrove. The first one. Here's the thing. These got real bad. They got real shitty.
I've only seen the first one and the second one, and I was on board with the second one only because they killed a lot of people and they showed it.
Yeah. Well, here's my problem though. If you're gonna make a movie series out of a book series, you can't just like skip the ones you don't like. They're like,
Did they do that? I never read those books.
oh yeah, there's 7 books, and they're currently working on the last. They're adapting the last book into the last movie, the 4th movie, even though there's 7 books. Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe was the 2nd book. They skipped a book.
Right, I knew that.
And then they skipped the first one's called The Magician's Nephew, and then they continued.
That's actually the only one I've read of that series.
Magician's Nephew is one of my favorites. Although I do like the last battle or the final battle or whatever the hell that last one is called. It's a fun series. I read it as a kid, had a good time with it. As an adult, I now understand that basically it's a book saying that if you don't love Jesus, you're going to hell. But I had fun with them as a kid.
Yeah.
Also,
well, you are going to hell, Chadley.
that is true. Also, one thing I do want to say about Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe that sort of puts it up on my list. It's got the niece.
Oh yeah, shit.
The Liam Neeson as a fucking lion eating people,
you know what?
Fighting a war.
I'd also probably give it half a star just for bringing Mr. Tomness to the screen.
Yeah, that guy who was in X-Men. James Roddenberry. I'm making up. I don't know what his name is, but
Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek.
That could have been what I said. Is that who that guy is? That X-Men guy? Did he create Star Trek?
Nope. I think you're thinking of somebody else.
What's your number 2?
My number 2. Pull up the list. Take a look. My number 2 is Lord of the Rings.
See, I'm not sure if these are good. These movies. Which Lord of the Rings? Which Lord of the Rings?
Just all of them.
Just all. Does that include the Hobbit franchise?
Those are not Lord of the Rings books, Chadley.
Okay. All right. So just Lord of the Rings. All right. I'll accept it. I've said it before on the show. I'm not a huge fan of the series myself, but I do understand the draw, and I do get that it's a good movie. So
better than Star Wars. Better trilogy than Star Wars.
Oh boy. I don't know. You're wrong. You're definitely wrong about that.
True trilogy, the true trilogy.
My number 2 is The Hungry Games. We talked about.
I'm sorry. I thought you were asking my favorite trilogy. I didn't.
No, I did not. I was not asking your favorite trilogy.
Oh, my bad.
Because if your favorite trilogy isn't Star Wars, you're wrong.
Lord of the Rings. It's Lord of the Rings. Jaws, the Jaws trilogy.
that wasn't a trilogy. They made like 7 of those, dude.
No, there was 4. There's 4. Settle down.
That's not a trilogy. Still, no. And there was one time when the Pirates movies were a trilogy, and then they were like, "Hey, you want to fuck it up?"
Hey, for sure, let's make the worst movie of all time and call it Pirates 4.
They brought a script to Gore Verbinski, and then he looked it over and he's like, "This is pretty good, but let's fuck this up. Let's just fuck it right up."
Definitely throw more evil mermaids in there.
For sure, more evil mermaids. I'm definitely down with that. But my number 2, like I said, The Hunger Games. It's a fine movie. It's a fine film. What's your number 1?
My number 1, little series that defined a generation, is Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Good franchise. Are you just saying the series in general, or are you?
I'm just saying the series in general.
You're okay. Well, I like
you got
I
a
said,
specific? You got a favorite?
I got a favorite. Here's the thing. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I love Harry Potter, and if I mentioned earlier that I wanted one from each series in my list, and that is because if I hadn't, they would all be Harry Potter movies, except for Order of the Phoenix. 100% fuck that movie. But they're other than Order of the Phoenix, they're all fantastic. And my personal favorite, if I had to dig deep, my personal favorite is the Half-Blood Prince.
Half-Blood Prince.
Ron gets his dick wet. There's fucking Voldemort fights. And then of course spoilers. If you've not heard this spoiler, I don't know where the hell you've been. Snape kills Dumbledore.
That's a good one.
It's a good ass.
I'm a pretty big Goblet fan myself.
I know a lot of people are real big into Goblet of Fire, and I would say it's definitely up there. But I could do like my top 5 favorite Harry Potter movies and like gush about all of them. I have a Harry Potter tattoo on my back for those of you who don't know.
Gross. Nobody look at that. Nobody look at the screen.
I'm not gonna bust it out. I'm just saying I got it. Big fan of it.
I haven't seen those movies in a while. Due for a rewatch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That might have to be our go-to series because they're doing the new one. What's it called?
Gross. Yuck.
Magical Beasts and Where to Find Them. Oh, we gotta watch that. Cause how is that gonna be a movie?
Ew. Yuck.
It's gonna be the fakest movie. Like that's gonna be the fakest movie.
Fake looking movie. It's a fake looking movie.
Yeah, we gotta check that one out when it drops. So, your favorite Harry Potter in general, my favorite, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. A lot of Alan Rickman in this one, too.
Richard Mann.
Richard Mann is a big player. He's a big player in this one. That's what I like so damn much about it. Mm-hmm. So, now that we're talking about franchises, let's talk about a certain franchise. The Avengers.
Franchise player. Franchise MVP.
The Avengers is probably the biggest franchise in the entire world right now. Probably makes more money than any other.
The biggest franchise in the world, Chadley?
It makes more money than any other film franchise at the moment. That's for sure. This week we watched the end of Phase 1. We
defined a generation.
What's
the Avengers?
They're just going to yell defined a generation for the rest of the podcast?
Yep.
Defined a generation. The Avengers. Let's talk about the Avengers. Now, here's the thing.
Oh, so good. Where to start?
Expensive.
I watched it twice.
You watched it twice this week?
It was on TV, and my dad was watching it, so I watched it then. And then I'm like, well, I got to watch it from the start now.
Oh, okay. You know what? Fair enough. You watched it twice. I only watched it once. I think that's all it really takes, the one viewing, to really click on the nostalgia and love this movie. Here's the thing, though. There's one part in this movie that makes me go, huh, I don't know if I would have done that, Joss Whedon. And that is the part where they're all in the laboratory, and they're all arguing in the laboratory, and then the camera starts to pan out, and then for some reason, the camera flips upside down, and it looks like everybody's standing on the roof, and it's like, yo, why that shot? 100% why did you do that?
Okay. That's your one complaint with the movie? Okay, that's...
I mean, if I had to find something to nitpick at, I'm also a big fan of the fact that Loki continuously does camera takes.
Yeah, that's the best.
Like when they're like, when he's like, that cage was built for something a lot stronger than you, and he's like, I've heard. It's like you doing camera takes right now, bro?
Are you staring straight into the camera right now?
A lot of Loki camera takes. We talked about how much we don't like Loki to be in these movies, but in this one, I was all right with it because he's a good ass villain. The other ones, fuck Loki, 100%. We're done. I'm done with Loki. You know, this was his one shot. He did all right.
Yeah, that's one opinion, except for that second Thor was so good though.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was so good. Like it's a pretty damn good movie.
It's literally 100 times better than the first Thor.
Yeah, I mean it's better than the first one, sure. But let's talk about the Avengers. We got probably one of the best casts of any movie ever made ever.
Yeah, that's probably true.
You got Jeremy Renner, who 100% fuck you. Stellan Skarsgård, Samuel L. Jackson, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans.
Edward Norton. Nope.
Nope. Fake ass fat Jewish Edward Norton, Mark Ruffalo. Who
else? Scarlett Johansson. Did you say that already? You got Colby Schmolders of How I Met Your Mother fame. You got Clark Gregg as Agent Coulson. You got the whole goddamn crew. Got the whole goddamn crew up in this bitch, you know. Coming together. Chadley's dead. This is great stuff, Charles. Glad you died. Glad you passed away. Glad you passed on. Because that really leaves us in a great situation here to talk about some movies. So I watched this movie today. It's a 1957 Japanese movie called The Mysterians, and basically in this movie, it's made by the same guys that did Godzilla, so it's kind of a kaiju movie, but not completely. But these aliens come down with this giant robot monster. They wreck some shit, and then they have a meeting of the minds with some Japanese folks, and they're like, so what we want on this planet, we want to come down here, and we want the right to marry Earth women, and we want a little plot of land to fuck them on. They're like, yeah, just give us this 3 mile by 3 mile little plot of land, and we're just gonna fuck your women on it. And like, they got giant robots, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna say you can't? You're gonna say no, you can't have our white women. Actually, it wasn't white women; they wanted Japanese women specifically. It's insane. I can't believe this is a real movie. I watched it on YouTube today. When Chadley gets back, I might actually have to talk to him about this, because this is an insane piece of filmmaking. Great stuff. Do. Fucking Chadley, fuck you, Chadley, fuck you, Chadley, fuck you, Chadley. Fuck you, Chadley, fuck you, Chadley. Fuck you, Chadley, get a better internet in your house. Fuck you, Chadley. Fuck you, Chadley, fuck you, Chadley. Fuck you, Chadley, fuck you, Chadley. Where is the Avengers? Where did they go? Which one of the Avengers is your favorite one? Oh, hey, welcome back, you fucking douchebag. So I was just, what the fuck? Where did you go? What are you doing? This is great. This is great pod. Man. Everybody's going to want to listen to this one. Everybody's going to want to listen to this one for sure. Fucking Chadley.
It's a Chadley-less one?
Yeah. I was just telling them about this Japanese movie I watched today, 1957, called The Mysterians. And have you ever heard of this movie?
No, I've never heard of it. Tell me about it.
It's from the director of Godzilla. So it's it's a kaiju movie. It's a kaiju movie.
Like me some kaiju.
It's kind of like a giant robot. So these aliens come down with this giant robot. They wreck some shit, and then they have this meeting. They have this meeting with the higher ups in Japan, and they're like, "So what we want the right to marry your women, and we want a little plot of land to fuck them on."
We'll keep breaking shit until we fuck the women.
Yeah, it's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
That's incredible.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
I definitely gotta see that. Definitely. Is there English dub or do I gotta read? It's
on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
That doesn't answer my question at all.
It's an English dub. There's only an English dub in existence.
Is it like 80 minutes?
On the internet.
Is it like 80
minutes? It's like 80 minutes.
Yeah. See, you know what? That's a nice, short, easy watch.
It might be 70 minutes actually.
Mysterian? How do you spell this?
The Mysterians.
Ah, okay.
M-Y-S-T. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got it. Okay, yeah, I'll check that out. So, the Avengers. I apologize. My internet decided to just fuck off for a second there, I guess. I mean, you run the risk with an internet show. You run the risk.
You are the worst.
I am.
So we were talking about the people in it. I was mentioning Clark Gregg.
Clark. Here's the thing though. Clark Gregg's so fucking good in this movie. Like he's been good in all of them, but he's like especially good in this one.
Yeah, he's real good. He's real good.
I love Clark Gregg. I'm trying to figure out what it was that I saw him in. Like I saw him in like some like 1990s romantic comedy. I gotta fucking figure it out, man. Or something like that. It may not have been.
He might have pulled one of the better gigs off this, because he was an unknown coming into this.
And now he's got his own fucking TV show.
Got his own fucking TV show.
Got his own motherfucking TV show. Okay, Robert Clark. Oh, his name's not even Clark. It's Robert. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to figure out what movie it was that I saw him in that I was like, oh my god, that's fucking that guy. Something that I watched recently is something that it was 1 Hour Photo. He is in that. He's the cop in 1 Hour Photo, and I was like, holy fuck! He's also in Artificial Intelligence, which I watched recently, and I'm like, holy fuck, is that Clark Gregg? And I looked it up, and
he must have known Robbie.
Yeah, must have known Robin Williams. Did 2 movies with him. Rob the Bob and Williams. May he rest in peace.
What can you say about the Avengers? Really, it's one of the greatest pieces of a fucking.
Here's the thing.
Blockbuster cinema.
It's got a 45-minute climax, and it's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, hard as a rock the entire time.
The climax where they're fighting fucking aliens is just. It's one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. I remember seeing that in the theater and just being like, what the fuck? And like, even though it's like 45 minutes, it feels like 5. Like
it goes by fast.
Yeah.
Once you hit New York, it goes by fast, son.
It feels like once they get to New York, the movie has 5 minutes left, but it's got like 40 minutes left, and it's just like such an incredible 40 minutes of film. But yesterday we were watching it, and my girlfriend brought something to light that I never thought about. So you know how like after the events in New York, they capture Loki and then they put that weird mouth thing on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about how they want to get shawarma after they capture Loki. Where was Loki when they were eating shawarma? Did they?
He was with Captain Shield, man.
Yeah, but could they just be like? Could they just? I feel like Loki's powerful enough that if they just put him with fucking a human being, he'd be able to escape. They gotta have Thor there and the Hulk, right? So they risked everything, just to get shawarma.
Shawarma is that good though. Shawarma really is that good.
It's worth it. Which you think it's good enough to?
I was eating shawarma before fucking Tony Stark brought it up to fucking light. Now all the shawarma places are filled with hipsters. They're like, yeah, this is in the Avengers. Eh? Fuck you.
True. Although I don't think hipsters like the event. You know what? Nah. Everybody likes this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know a soul who doesn't like this movie. That being said, this movie does have one problem, and it's something that I noticed when I first saw it in theaters as well. It's practically Thor 2, man. It's practically Thor 2. It's just Thor stuff. It's just Thor stuff with Iron Man in it.
It's not as,
You got the Thor
I ain't
villain.
mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
I ain't mad either. I ain't mad either. I'm just saying. A lot of Thor shit in this movie. I'm excited to see where they take it next with Age of Ultron. I couldn't imagine that being shitty. But, hey, could be shitty.
James Spader fucked this up for everybody, I think.
James Spader? Nah, here's the thing, though. James Spader is great. He was in fucking Drive Angry.
I'm completely pinning this failure on James Spader.
Okay. If you want to pin the whole thing on James Spader, I ain't going to stop you.
If it fails, I'm calling it right now, it's James Spader's fault.
All right. Like, it's only James Spader. What's his name? Paul Rubens. I just want him to do Ultron like he did in that fucking one clip. I would just like him to voice Ultron for the whole movie. I wonder if there's going to be a time when you can just purchase a full version with just Paul Rubens as Ultron.
Yeah, that should be a special feature. That should be a special feature on the Blu-ray disc.
A little featurette. Fucking Pee Wee Herman as Ultron. Full movie. It's like a commentary track that you can add on.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I would watch the shit out of that. I would buy the DVD for that. That's how you sell DVDs. It's a dying market.
You get fucking Pee Wee Herman to voice Ultron. That's how that is. You're right. That's how you sell DVDs. I mean, people could probably still download. Like, they'd have to check the version because there's going to be the James Spader version and then the Pee Wee Herman version, and you don't want to accidentally get the James Spader version. That's for sure.
Absolutely not.
That's 100%. So
you accidentally download that from your favorite pirate site, and you turn it on and you get ready to watch it, and you're like, oh shit, James Spader's in this one. Fuck.
Oh man. So I think we're pretty well on the level that the Avengers. It's a really good movie. Maybe one of the best action movies I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it's perfect. It was the perfect accumulation of this universe that was built up, and no one's ever really done that before.
And not to mention, I remember when I went to see this movie, I was like, oh, what? Is this gonna be like Iron Man and Friends? But it wasn't. They actually split up the movie equally between all of the Avengers. How they're gonna do that with the 35 Avengers they have the next one, I don't know. They're probably just going to focus on Captain America because he's got that Civil War movie coming out. But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
It's going to be... There's so many, dude. They're bringing War Machine and Falcon in, and that's fine. But they're also adding...
You think they're going to do a black guy team up?
Maybe, actually. But then they're also bringing in an Olsen, Ashley Olsen or whatever to play Scarlet Witch, and then you got that weird dude playing Quicksilver, and it's I feel like that you got too much.
I'm not on board with Quicksilver. He's not good.
You don't like Quicksilver?
No.
You know what I don't like? I don't like the fact that Quicksilver's in this and Magneto isn't. Isn't that kind of what explains Magneto or Quicksilver? How is Quicksilver alive if Magneto doesn't exist in this universe? Doesn't make sense. But Avengers is 100% fuck no. One of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. It's so good.
You just 100% fuck know it, though.
Did I say 100%? I meant 100% fuck yes.
You scared me there for a minute. I thought I was going to have to crawl through the screen and beat the shit out of you.
I would give it 100% fuck yes if it was only the scenes with Clark Gregg. If there was a super cut that was 28 minutes and it was just the scenes that have Clark Gregg in it.
Yeah, funny thing is though, TV show would not 100% fuck that, and that's all Clark Gregg.
It's 100% Clark Gregg, but he's not doing cool stuff. That scene where he walks in.
They only got TV money on that. There's no.
The scene where he walks in and he's got like the big ass gun. He's like, I don't even know what this does. It's like, oh shit, dude, this dude's a badass.
Well, yeah. They finally got the Hulk kind of looking realish.
Yeah, I don't think they had Lou Ferrigno in on this one though. I think that was actually Mark Ruffalo with distorted voice. I think they finally let Ferrigno go to his grave.
Yeah, I think that's correct. But like he didn't look as shitty. He didn't look as shitty in this one.
Yeah, well here's the thing, and this is something that I always wondered, is that they gave him like a fucking bro haircut. They gave him like a bro haircut in the Edward Norton one. It's like he had shaggy hair. Like, yo, you could make that into a mohawk. What are you doing? Why are you giving the Hulk that kind of hair? And then in this one, he sort of had like the Mark Ruffalo Jufro, which I felt fit.
Yeah, then no, he definitely should have the same hair that whatever your actor has, for sure.
Absolutely, 100%.
Fucking Hulk with a Jufro is too funny.
You came down buck ass nude. That's like one of my favorite parts where the old man is like buck ass nude. It's good. There's a lot of good bits. There's a lot of good. It's also
really
funny.
Pretty funny.
Yeah,
pretty funny
it's also
movie.
funny. So also some good stuff. I also like when when at the very end when Samuel L. Jackson is like, "Yo, they took Loki away," and then the board is like, "Yo, you didn't have the right to make that choice," and he's like, "Brother, I didn't make that choice." And he walks away like a badass. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty close to what I just said.
Well, you got any closing thoughts on this? Because we got to move on to our next movie here.
Yeah, closing thoughts. If you've not seen the Avengers, fuck yourself and watch it. Like, I don't care. I don't care how you watch it, but watch it tonight.
Yep.
Watch it now.
So, what's our last movie we got here?
This is fake ass Quentin Tarantino movie. This is Kill Me 3 Times. So I watched this afternoon and I had to pause it a lot because it's definitely dry as fuck.
It's not super interesting.
I mean, I expected it to be worse. I'll be fair. But one thing that I find hilarious about this movie is that there was a guy who was like it's all Australian people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was one particular guy who was the most Australian person I've ever seen in my life, and he was. What the fuck? Anyway, most Australian person that I've ever seen in my life. His name was Bruce. He was a police officer, and he comes in and he's like, I know what you've been doing all night, man. Like with like the high pitched Australian twang, like the most
greasy.
Yeah, he was the most Australian person ever. He's like, I know what you were up to last night, eh? You know, like the most Australian man. The most Australian I've ever seen in a fucking movie ever. And like everyone was so Australian in this movie, but he was like seagull or fucking pelicans from Finding Nemo Australian. Like he was hella Australian.
You weren't on board with that, hey?
No, I loved it. I loved it.
Okay.
I don't know if you know much about me, but I love Australians. Like Australians are my favorite people.
Hey, Chadley.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say that too, because the Spanish girl was married to the Australian. I was like, when she came down from Morocco, he's like, hey, you ever fucking Australian before?
You ever fucking Australian before, ladies? Would you like to? Straight out of Sydney. Ah. The problem with this movie is it tried to be like a Tarantino movie, but the problem was plot paper thin.
Yeah,
Plot's paper thin.
And here's the thing, is that the plot is so paper thin, but they do the first 30 minutes twice. And like it's with the style of the movie and you see some different stuff, but it's the same 30 minutes just from somebody else's perspective. And it's like, did you know that if you like put those intertween those scenes, that's like a movie. It'll be like a movie if you did that. If instead of doing this weird do the first 30 minutes and then be like, rewind, and then do the first 30 minutes again.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't on board with that. It reminded me of Man of Steel, when an hour into the movie, fucking somebody, like his dad comes and explains the first hour of the movie. And it's like, here's the thing. We just saw this. We just, like when she called, like
I don't
the
even want
second
to talk
time.
about that movie. I don't want to talk about that.
The second time that she calls the dentist and she's like, "Can I come in at 2?" I'm like, wait, I know what happens here. I'd be careful going in at 2.
Definitely be careful.
But I'm 100% sure I've seen this already. That also being said, this felt like a movie I've seen before. You know? Like, I felt like I'd seen this movie before because it was everything from the characters to the writing to the style to the soundtrack, it all felt borrowed. It all felt borrowed from, like, Natural Born Killers, Pulp Fiction, things like that. Even, like, the timeline thing. Like, I felt like they were trying to pull a Pulp Fiction on us there. And it's like, you're not a genius. Triv or whatever the fuck, Triv Anderson or whatever the hell directed this. I don't remember.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. There's some stuff I liked in it, though.
Well, yeah, sure. But here's the thing. If I'd gone back in time, I might have, when I was putting the movie on, I might have touched myself on the shoulder and been like, son, you don't need to. You don't need to. Like, hand on shoulder, don't watch this. I mean, Simon Pegg was great.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: is that you can't write a movie with no likable characters. That's just not a thing you should do. This had.
No, you can, but don't do it.
You can, but if you do it well. You know, these were just like you just saw Jizzbag killing Jizzbag the entire movie, and I was never sad when anybody died. The only person that I liked was Simon Pegg until the very end when he's like, I just fucked you. And it's like, throws that girl aside. And it's like, oh, okay, well, he's a jizzbag too. Why am I supposed to like these people?
Mm-hmm.
They're all jizzbags. Particularly the girl's husband. What a jizzbag. No redeemables. No redeemables. Now, let me talk about something real quick. In this movie, we got the lesser-known Hemsworth up in this bitch.
Yeah, 40-year-old Hemsworth.
I remember when we first decided to watch this movie, I was like, hey, that's the third Hemsworth brother. Why have we never heard of him? I know now. Because he's awful.
And he's 40.
Yeah, he's old as fucking, but he's so bad. I feel bad for him because I remember I used to think, like, Liam Hemsworth was the brother who, nobody gave a shit when he got home for Christmas. But no, man. People are like, oh, Hunger Games. Nice job, Liam. Oh, Thor. Nice job, Chris. And then Luke comes home and they're like, saw kill me 3 times. It's like having two straight-A students.
That was a film.
It's like having 2 straight-A children and then a fucking C student. A straight C to C minus.
Well, he's got to be doing something else, right? He must be like a personal trainer or something. Like, there's no way he's a pure actor.
Like, maybe he's not an actor, and they just like approached him, and he was like, "I'm not an actor," and they're like, "Aren't you one of those like?"
Well, he was lead in another movie. That might have been. Are they Australian?
You know what? That's a good question. I'm gonna look it up. I think they might be. Let's look up. We'll look up big old Chris Hemsworth. I would assume that his name would come up with Chris, but there's just so many handsome dudes named Chris that.
Handsome Chris Club.
Handsome Chris Club. No, yeah, they're from Melbourne.
All right.
They're from Melbourne. They're Australian as heck. Don't cast Luke Hemsworth in anything.
The fancy talk in Thor makes a lot more sense now. Hello, I am Thor. Fancy talk.
The fancy talk is good. I'm glad we didn't run into any fake accents this week. I feel like that's been like a theme for the past few weeks. We didn't have any fake ass accents this time.
Yeah.
All purebred Australians and Simon Pegg doing, I don't know what he was doing, but whatever it was fine. Also, Simon Pegg rocked a handlebar mustache. Now, most of the time, when it comes to actors, not a big fan of facial hair. Simon Pegg pulled it off, man.
Have you ever seen that movie where John Travolta rocks a handlebar mustache?
Oh, maybe. What's it called?
Oh, it's the train one.
Oh yeah, taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, something like that.
He rocks a handlebar mustache in that movie.
I can't
Incredible.
say.
He looks like Mr. Slave from South Park.
Oh man. Kill Me Three Times. There's definitely some fun to be had with Kill Me Three Times. Like
The
there's some
problem is, I think
interesting
it's like
stuff.
it's almost a movie.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel like it was quite complete. Like it almost felt like a long prologue to a movie, you know? Like it felt
Yeah.
like it was an introduction to this character. And to be honest, if they made more movies about Charlie Wolf, I fuck with the Charlie Wolf trilogy.
Yeah, I might watch that.
I watch it. If the next one's called Kill Me Four Times, though, I'm done. I'm out. That's where I get out. But if they make more Charlie Wolf movies with Simon Pegg, I'm on board.
Yeah,
Like
well, he was the only he's the only thing that really saved it in the but even that like
even that wasn't really enough to save this. And it's not a bad movie, but it's just like it's so subpar, and everything feels borrowed. The style is almost there.
there are a lot of good Australia shots,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
there's
We
some
got
good
the cliff.
like cinematography occasionally, but then sometimes not.
One thing I want to mention too, you know the part when they light the car on fire, like not
Uh-huh.
the second time, actually both times. Both. Let's.
Right,
I'll
yeah.
just I'll lump them together. For sure, do your CG better than that. Were
Yeah,
you
that was
using Were you
that was
using like
bad fire.
the fake ass fire on iMovie?
Yeah,
Did
the
you?
first fire, yeah, it was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, it's the first fire. Like when they're pushing the car off the cliff. It was so bad. Also, that girl wouldn't have lived. I don't want to give. I mean, like I don't want to give spoilers away because this is a new movie, but they do push her off a cliff. Guess what? She lives. She wouldn't have lived. She wouldn't have lived for sure.
Most
Not to
likely
mention
not.
Not to mention, she just like shows up later. She just like shows up out of nowhere and hits Simon Pegg with a hammer. It's like
Yeah.
K. Like the whole movie was like a big K moment. I was never, to be honest, I almost didn't finish this movie, and not because it was bad, but just because I wasn't inclined by the characters or the storyline or nothing. They lost me on this one. They lost me. What are we doing for time here? How are we looking for time? We don't out of
We're
time.
way over, man. We're way over because you
We're
fucked
wait.
off for 20 minutes.
Oh, right. That wasn't like 20 minutes. It was like 3 minutes, and you got to talk about your fucking movie anyway. So who gives a shit? We make the own rules on our podcast. So next week we're gonna continue our the Avengers series. We're gonna watch Iron Man 3. So fun, I guess. Tune in to hear about Iron Man 3. We're also going to watch the brand new movie Hot Tub Time Machine #2. It's got
Ooh,
Adam
greasy.
Scott in it. It's got Adam Scott in it, brah. It's got Adam
I'm on
Scott.
board.
So
I'm on board. Hey, man, I
um,
ain't mad at the Hot Tub Time Machine movies.
the first one's pretty bad, but this one doesn't have John Cusack in it, so it could be better.
True.
John Cusack is like very good at ruining movies. I bet you John Cusack hasn't done a good movie in 15 years. I bet you he
That
hasn't
might be
done it.
true. That might be true.
He hasn't done a good movie this millennium. I'm gonna take a look now. Oh yeah. Oh, it's all bad. It's all bad. All
2012
bad.
though.
Oh,
2012.
2012. 1408 and Must Love Dogs. Serendipity. America's Sweethearts. Yep. And then the last good movie he did was in 1999. It was being John Malkovich. Everything else is it's really shitty. So there you have it. John Cusack has not been in a good movie in this millennium.
Wow. Well, there you go.
We're also going to watch a new movie from director and writer, first time Ryan Gosling. That should be interesting. It's got Christina Hendricks, it's got Eva Mendes, and some other famous people that I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's going to
I'm
be.
not really on board with Eva Mendes, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, she was in Ghost Rider, and that's one of those ones that I feel like can't be forgiven.
She was also in Too Fast, Too Furious. They made a rap song for that one.
Too Fast, Too Furious. What was Will Smith in that joint? Too Fast, Too
Nope,
Furious
I
is.
believe that was a ludicrous joint actually, because Lude in that movie he's setting the world on fire. It's like, yo, who knew Lude could act, man? Who knew?
Luda.
And he is incredible. He might be one of the best rapper actors I've ever seen. He's a great actor.
I mean, he's got to be better than Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah.
Better than Mac Miller for sure. Who else is good? Bob, let's be honest though.
Ice-T.
Do we count Will Smith as a rapper actor?
Yeah, I guess.
Because Will Smith is incredible. Will Smith is incredible.
Sometimes. Not recently.
What, you didn't
He's
like?
another one who I don't think he's done anything good in the last 10 years.
Okay, we're gonna look it up. I think he has. Let's take a look. Last 10 years. So that means it's got to take us to 05, right? Got to take us to 05. Holy fuck, dude! They're making a Bad Boys 3. Oh.
Okay, well, I would be on board with that for sure.
Only if Michael Bay is there. Let's see. You know what? He was in Men in Black 3, which we talked about this podcast. Not too bad.
Oh, yeah, that one's pretty good.
Hancock, a lot of people dislike, but I think it's all right. I Am Legend and The Pursuit of Happiness.
No. I Am Legend wasn't. He's not good in that, though.
What about Shark Tale? Remember Shark Tale with Robert De Niro and Jack Black?
I'd give you Pursuit of Happiness, probably.
Pursuit of Happiness is hella good though. Like it's.
I'd give you that. I'd give you that and Men in Black. Those are the two good movies he was in the last 10 years.
You know what? It's weird because my favorite of those three is Hancock. I really like Hancock. Did you know Hancock was written by Vince Gilligan?
Oh yeah, it's based on a comic book, I think, or something.
Vince Gilligan.
Based on something.
Man.
Like a
Vince
book,
Gilligan.
maybe.
Yo, could be, but that's pretty much all the time that we have. Tune in next week. Like I said, we're gonna talk about what are we talking about? Hot Tub Time Machine 2, Lost River, and Iron Man 3. So it's gonna be fun.
A lot of guitar riffs in that three kill me 3 times. Forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah, a lot of it's a fake ass soundtrack too. Like I felt like it was the soundtrack of Pulp Fiction. Like they just downloaded it.
What do you do?